Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you've tuned in to Fresh Start. I'm Andre Bernard.
And I'm Hugh Dowse, and it's now time for the Getting to Know You feature, where we'll be speaking with Orin Carr. Orin is a 28-year-old media entrepreneur, human rights project coordinator, and English teacher in Jamaica's prison system. And he has been admitted to Sweden's Royal Institute of Technology, KTH, to do a master's project that will focus on expanding his startup internet radio station, Zanj Radio. Orin is committed to Jamaica's development efforts, including human rights, and teaching in Jamaica's prison system is a part of that thrust. He is an alum of the University of the West Indies and the great Blue and White School of North Street, St. George's College. Good morning, Orin.
Morning.
Morning.
AMDG.
Bernard.
Welcome. You're teaching in the prison system. How did you land that job?
I got that job due to a program that I was doing while I was at UWI, which, if I remember clearly, it was a program by an organization called Youth Crime Watch.
Yes.
And what they used to do, and they still do actually, is to tutor children on the weekend who come from volatile communities. So I used to teach English language and give English language classes on the weekends while I was at UWI. And when I had finished my undergrad degree, the person who was coordinating that project, referred me to Stand Up for Jamaica, which is the NGO that I work with.
Yes.
And that's how I really got into the prison.
What was your undergraduate degree in here at UA?
I read for my degree in literatures in English and history.
Yes.
That's a very good combination. That's what I did.
The humanities.
Yeah.
Anything in the humanities, we totally.
Well, let's not
Not
do
that
that.
we do. Okay, all right, fine.
But it's true. But you are on this page 2, second page of the Gleaner today. So if you all want to put a face to the voice that you're listening now, you'll see this full-length, full spread on page 2 of the Gleaner. Sweden calling, internet radio station founder accepted to top Stockholm University, needs help funding tuition. Now we know that by the time you're finished with this program, all the persons who are going to make that happen are going to make the call and give you all that you need. But how did you get into founding a radio station, and tell us what the aims of the station are?
Well, initially it was just off of wanting to hear one of my favorite genres being played more on media entities through Jamaica.
Which is?
So I love dub reggae music. And I wasn't necessarily hearing a whole lot. So I just started, playing around with different technologies, softwares.
Yes.
Experimenting along certain lines of just media broadcasts and how, basic, rudimentary, or just setting up from the ground in terms of media tech, what could be done around it. I started experimenting with it in, I would say, my penultimate year at UWI.
Yes.
And what really, I think, pushed me to say that, this is what I'm going to do for my life, is when I started looking at Marcus Garvey's use of media, especially in the early 20th century without the internet. Marcus Garvey was able to use newspaper, radio broadcasts, and different kind of media outlets to reach all around the world.
Yes.
So I started thinking, well, maybe I can use something to push out a certain type of music that I want to hear more. Not just saying be all around the world, but just Jamaica or on U campus or in my room when I lived on hall.
Yes.
And that's how it really started. As it developed more, as I started experimenting more, I started including diverse genres such as retro African music,
Yes.
that we still have on the program, on the radio station.
Yes.
Started playing world music, started taking on emerging DJs, presenters who never had an outlet or couldn't get onto the streams of media which I wanted to get into readily.
Yes.
So I started putting in place different platforms and mechanisms that facilitated broadcasting in a very, very easy way. And it just evolved into what it is now.
What is the name of the radio station, Orin?
The name of the radio station is Zanj Radio.
Zanj.
Yes.
Okay. I see here that you hope to pursue a degree in media management at Sweden's Royal Institute of Technology. Tell us why media management and what would that entail?
Why media management? Because it gives the courses or the core concepts of media management involves dealing with developing, sustaining, and maintaining a media entity through a variety of economic and technological measures. Why Sweden exactly? Is because, especially the school that I selected, that school that I selected is renowned for pushing out individuals who have started very, very important media mechanisms such as Skype or SoundCloud, which a lot of media entities in Jamaica currently use.
Yes.
In terms of being in Sweden, the Sweden is right now ranked as one of the top technology havens in the world that supports startup companies. So that in terms of going there for media management and so forth, that was my decision.
It was strategic. Yes.
Repeat?
It was strategic. Your choice is strategic.
Yes, it's very, 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 very strategic. Since the year I started, there have been so many reports about, tech in Sweden and the diversity of the technology landscape in Sweden, especially tech and music. So that was my choice and why I decided to go into that field.
Right.
But your core concern is how media can deal with development. I see in the Gleaner article that you started developing ideas around creating some entity that would deal with development, more into creating physical opportunities around media, especially when you started to read about Marcus Garvey and his use of media in the early 20th century, having been able to set up the UNIA and having millions of members worldwide. The cost of the program.
Yes.
Right.
We see that it's 46,000 US.
Yes.
Because you have the 400 US already. So we don't have
then it has been increased.
It has been increased.
Yes.
How can persons who are willing to give a scholarship to you and make this dream happen so that you can come back and do the development that you envisage, how can they contact you?
Well, they can contact me at my number. I can send my number on here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, man.
Yeah. All right. My number is 296-6989. You can also contact my associate at 787-2989. My email address, I can spell it out, BLACKNITEOAC@hotmail.com. Or you can, go to Twitter at Zanj Radio. our Facebook at Zanj Radio.
And that is ZANJ.
Right.
ZANJ.
ZANJ, yes. Thank you, Mr. Dow. ZANJ Radio.
Yes. And how do we get to listen to Zanj Radio? Where do we go on the internet? What do we put in?
Well, you go on the internet, you go to zanj.org. You know, zanj.org. That's our website. You would see all the work that we've been doing around music, creative arts, and just the diversity of our media setup and what we're trying to implement.
Well, we really want to recommend your story on page 2 of the Gleaner to everyone,
right.
To see more of what you've done and the dream that we want them to fly. But could you just give the young people in particular who are listening now words of hope and encouragement as you share in this radio station as a radio and media man yourself this morning?
Well, you know what I would tell the young people? Go and seek Marcus Garvey. I think Marcus Garvey have all the answers that if I tell you, it would be better if you go and get a book for Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey has all the answers for the young people. Marcus Garvey is the person if you want to know where to go. You know, so that is what I would tell the young people of Jamaica. Just go and read Marcus Garvey's words and think about what he has to say. You know.
Thank you so much for joining us, Oren Carr. And we do wish you all the best in your efforts, and certainly we hope that the program at Stockholm works out for you. It's 8 o'clock here on Newstalk 93 FM, and it's time for the BBC Business News. Stay with us on Fresh Start.